Okay, so first of all, I'd like to thank you all for being here today and the listeners who are listening online. Topic I'm going to talk to you about today is life beyond that imaginary limit line we call our comfort zones. So first of all, to kick us off, I'd just like to, by show of hands around the room, and you can do this at home, how many of us in the room have actually tried to do something new for the first time and failed miserably? Great stuff, I know I have. So I want you to think about, how did that feel? You know, stepping out for the first ever time, you know, doing something new, and the ridicule that came with it when you failed. How did that feel? You know, did it make you feel that you was powerless? Did you feel weak? And like many people, you hold on to this event in your mind and you take it forward with you through life. And you allow that fear of failure, the fear of ridicule, the fear of stepping out and being different to hold you back later on in life. But I want you to flip that round. I want you to actually think about, what if it went well? How liberating would that feel? How powerful would you feel? How would that make you change your decisions after the event? How much more would you jump into? How much more excitement would you have in your life? How much more brave would you be? So I just want to give you my take on this. I believe that years ago we had, and we still have it today, something called the autonomous nervous system. And when we were cavemen and we was hunched over, walking around with our big wooden sticks, we had the autonomous nervous system to keep us alive. That's what it was designed to do. If a saber-toothed tiger came jumping out the bushes, our autonomous nervous system kicked in, and we either ran or we fought. And the problem is, in today's world, fortunately, we no longer have saber-toothed tigers. But what we've done, we've tricked the autonomous nervous system. We've basically kept hold of it, but we've attached new events to it. Events such as talking in front of a crowded room, meeting new people, stepping into a gym for the first ever time. The autonomous nervous system kicks in, and then like magic, we attach fear to it. We attach a thought to it, a limiting belief. What I want to talk to you today is, how do we go from feeling powerless, playing the victim, life's happening to me, to stepping into our strength, to being one step ahead of that autonomic nervous system, to say, you know, it's great that you're here, you're keeping us alive, but I don't have to listen to you. I don't have to attach a limiting belief to you. I'm still going to go through it anyway. And I can promise you, once you start to do this, when you feel that fear coming on, once you ignore that fear and you just do it anyway, you'll start to break down them barriers, and you'll start step by step to build a bridge, taking you from powerlessness to a place of power. So I want to take you back to a personal experience of mine when I actually witnessed this in action. I was an 11-year-old boy. I just started secondary school. So it's a big change in my life. I was going into a new school, making new friends. Life was great. And we had cross country. So we ran a distance of usually around 3 to 4 miles around a field, and it was to test your stamina, your fitness, your endurance. And I ran like hell. I'd left my inhaler at home, I was gasping for air, but I finished second, and I just couldn't believe it. I was overwhelmed with pride. I couldn't wait to get home and tell my mum I'd come second. So I finished school and I walked home with a big smile on my face, and I got home and the door was locked. Okay, mum's probably out. I'll go up to my nan's. I went up to my nan's, and the family were there, all of the family. I thought, this is great. You know, I love having family over. It usually only happens at like Christmas. What's going on? And then my nan led me into the living room and she sat me down. And she said to me, your mum's not here, Callum, because she's been sent to prison for 3 years. You see, I thought that I'd already gone through all the pain in my life. As an 11-year-old boy, I'd had my fair share of adversity, of hardships. I'd witnessed, my father being physically abusive to my mum repeatedly. And I'd grown up in circumstances where I had lack of everything. I'd seen the final reminder bills on the dining table from the age of 5. I wondered what was going on. I got so used to seeing them red envelopes on the table saying, "This is your final reminder," that I knew there had to be more out there. And from a very early age, I knew that anything I'd do in life would be to make my mum proud. But at that moment, it was like my nan had got the light switch and switched the light out in my life. But I wasn't going to let that stop me. I wasn't going to let that be the thing that built the wall up and I'd just stay behind for the rest of my life. Because many people will do that. They will use any excuse they can find to be the reason why they stay inside their comfort zone. But that wasn't going to be me. Because I'd already been through some hardships. I'd already felt what it was like to go through them testing times. And I made a commitment to myself that moving forward in life, I will do anything it takes to drag us out of this place and to allow my family to experience the good life, to allow my mum to walk with pride, to look at her family and just feel a sense of happiness, and to know that as a family we can experience the finer things. And I know you can all do the same too. So my years at school, I put everything into it. I attended every class I could go to. I made friends with so many amazing people from all walks of life. And some of them, they had also been through their own hardships. And we came together as this great group of friends that just pushed each other further. And then leading on to my later years in school, it was time to start looking at employment. And I was so proud because I'd managed to actually secure a job at Rolls-Royce, which is one of the sort of world's best renowned engineering companies, where even the name Rolls-Royce signifies a level of a standard of quality. So this was a great thing. This was something where I could actually say, I've got this job that's now going to allow me and my family to live from a life of almost privilege. I was so excited about it. And one thing that Rolls-Royce do, they do what's called the STEM Ambassador Programme. So you talk about science, technology, engineering and maths, and I latched onto this because I seen this as my gateway into schools, into community outreach programs where I could go and spread my message. And although my message wouldn't be a message of science, technology, engineering and maths, it was a message of hope. It was a message that told kids out there that were facing the similar things that I was going through back here, that there is a space out there for you. You matter. You are special. Whether your parents were there for you at birth, whether your parents loved you or not, you matter. You have a place in this world. And I remember, I'll never forget, I was stood on stage as I am today, talking to a group of kids, and I had about 30 sets of eyes looking back at me. And I could feel myself filling them with hope. And just at that moment, I don't know if anybody in the crowd has gone through a similar experience. A surge of energy came through. It was like someone plugged me into with a mains, and it was like boom, like a shock to the system. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is me. So what now then? So I have the experience. What does that mean? How can I progress that? I knew that I had to start practicing what I was preaching. See, I was reading all the books about comfort zones and limiting beliefs, but deep down I was still telling myself, Callum, you can't do this. Your mum went to prison. Your dad's a dead alcoholic. You have no place in this world to get up on stage and tell people that they have something, they have some abilities. You don't belong in this world. But I ignored that, and I did it anyway. And now I'm reaching out wherever I can. I jump to events that I know will empower me, that will teach me, that will help me sharpen my craft. so that when I get up on stage or when I'm talking one-to-one with anybody, I can fill them with the same enthusiasm that I have myself. And that's my dream. So to wrap this all up, I'm gonna turn the tables back around. I want to turn the focus on you. I want everybody here to make a deal with me. And that deal is that in the next 24 hours, I want you to all do something that before now you've told yourself you couldn't do. Or rather, you haven't told yourself, your internal voice has told yourself you couldn't do it. But I want you to override that system, and I want you to do it anyway. So one thing in 24 hours that challenges your comfort zone. And my email is callumfbetts@gmail.com. I want to hear about your experience in the next 24 hours and the feeling you got from doing that. I can't wait to hear your stories. Thank you very much for listening.